So, this is Labor Day weekend. How many people here work? Okay. How many of you who put your hand up love your work? A few less. For those of you who love your work, how many would do it for free? How many of you do it for free? Like I said, I did it for a year for free. Like, wow, okay. It's fascinating when we think of what we're here doing on the planet as spiritual beings, becoming aware of who we are, divine beings having a spiritual adventure, and then 9 to 5 or whatever hours we work during the day to do that. And do they mesh together? Do you love coming to Unity and then dread the rest of the day because you know Monday's coming? There's a wonderful book called Working by Studs Terkel. Does anybody know it? It's an absolutely wonderful book. He interviewed all these different people from across the country, from blue-collar, white-collar, executives, others, about what they did, what they felt about what they did, what they thought about what they did. He talked to a woman named Sharon. And Sharon told him, I have changed my opinions about receptionists because I am now one. I was fine with it until I was at a press party. We were having a fairly interesting conversation until they asked me what I did. I told them, and then they turned around to find other people to talk to. I wasn't worth being bothered with. I wasn't rejected for what I had said or how I talked, but simply because of my function. After that, I told people I was a communications controller. Until recently, I'd cry when I awoke in the morning. I didn't want to get up. I dreaded Fridays because Monday was always looming over me. I dread looking for other jobs. I don't know what I want to do. That is what hurts the most. I don't know what kind of talents I may have. At the switchboard, you don't really do much of anything. I remember that feeling of dread when another acting gig was over and I would have to find something to do. And the default for a lot of us who are actors, singer-dancers in New York was to either wait tables or bartend because it was quick money. But I had that awful gut feeling of, oh, I don't want to do this anytime it came up, and I had to go to work the next day after having a day off. Can anybody relate to that? That feeling of, I don't want to do this. This is just miserable. Most of us have had or have jobs like that. I was a singing waiter once. Talk about two jobs that don't go together. Like being a plumber surgeon. You could do one, you could do the other, but they should not be done together. So I was a singing waiter. One Saturday night, it was packed. And we had a little stage that when we weren't waiting, we would jump up after running around and we would sing. It was weird. It took me a long time to I never got used to it, as a matter of fact. One Saturday night, I was up there after running around, and they said, you're on. I said, oh, I am. How am I doing? And I finally got up there, and I started singing. I said, how I loved you. I put my hand out. Somebody grabbed it. And she said, can I have more bread? In a minute. So sometimes we love something, but we have to do something at the same time, and it just makes us crazy. Considering that we spend at least a third of our lives doing this thing called work, the assumption would be that this work would be satisfying, it would be creative, it would be fulfilling, and it would meet our needs financially. But somehow many of us end up doing jobs that can make us feel physically ill. The very thought of doing it, and then you finally get there and you're just a bundle of nerves. That isn't the way to live. And it's certainly not any way of living for a metaphysical New Thought Truth student. The fifth of our basic Unity teachings is that life is a celebration. We need to get out there and do it, to celebrate. Life is a party. Our elder brother Jesus said, you're here to celebrate. It's supposed to be good. And if it isn't, what are we doing and what are we thinking? What do we believe that is not matching this wonderful teaching that life is meant to be a party. How do we know that? How do we know life is meant to be a party? Look at the planet. Look how beautiful it is. Look how wonderful the people that you have in your life are. Look at your creative nature. It's supposed to be wonderful. It's supposed to be joyful. But when one is considering a change of career, perhaps when you get the realization, I would really love to do something that is fun, that is creative, that would meet my needs as well. We begin to think about what would it be like to leave the career that I am or the job that I'm in. It can make us really nervous because even though this job is hell, at least it's familiar and it gives me insurance. This hell has benefits. I'm not sure if I began my own business where I would be in a month or 2 months or a year. So I stay where I don't want to be for where I really would love to be in my life. And so we come up with excuses that seem to work in our own minds, kind of, sort of. Well, it's too late to change now. I just read somewhere on Huffington Post, a woman just graduated. She's 60 years old, just graduated from medical school. Isn't that great? 60. New career as a doctor. Now she'll have to go through internship. She was going to be here at 60 anyway, she said. Might as well do what I want to do. It's never too late to do what you're here to do. But we come up with excuses. I have a family, I can't. Or I'm not really trained right now, and I'm too old. Well, she was 60. What's your excuse? Doesn't matter. I just can't up and quit. What would the neighbors say? What would my mother say? Visa and American Express would collapse if I didn't continue to support them with my donation. I can't give that up. In working, a high-ranking official in one conglomerate told Mr. Turkle, "It's too late for me. I've spent too many years doing exactly what was expected of me, being a good son, a good husband, a good father. In my company, I'm known as a good soldier. When I ask myself what I'm about, I have to say I don't know anymore. I tried so long to fit in, I've held back for so long, I don't know who I am or what I am." That's tragic. You've given away yourself so long, for so often, you don't know who you are or what you are outside of the job that they have given you to do. I think we've all wondered in one way or another, at one time or another, who am I? I'm doing this, I've been doing this, is this who I am? And of course, at the very beginning of the show here, who am I anyway? Am I my resume? Is this all there is to me, all the shows I've done, all the training, is this what I have to show for my life? I'll never forget the night Henry Fonda won the Oscar for On Golden Pond. Anybody remember that? Oh my gosh. I think it stays with us because what he said was so shocking. He had tears in his eyes when he went up there and he said, "I appreciate winning this." And then he surprised everybody by saying, "You know, I don't like myself very much." What a revelation. I remember watching thinking how sad it was for someone so talented who made so many people happy to not like himself. But a lot of us don't. A lot of us don't. It's too common for us not to love ourselves, not to really see the beautiful, wonderful spiritual being that so many people do see. We've been ignoring the wonderful gifts of spirit that have been blessing our lives, thinking perhaps maybe it's overrated. Maybe they really don't see myself. I've never known a really talented actor, singer, dancer, anybody who does something creative in the arts, who doesn't wonder whether or not I'm faking it really well. They're going to find out about me. I know a Tony Award winner who said, they're going to find out about me. And the truth is, this person is absolutely breathtakingly talented. Every minister I know in Unity has gone through at one time or another, why am I up here? What am I doing in front of everybody pretending like I know what I'm talking about? Well, the truth is we all have gifts. Some of us have a gift for sharing truth that is clarifying or is inspiring or motivational. Whatever your work is to do is your work. Whether you're 90, 80, 50, 40, it doesn't really matter. Whether you're actually working for a living Whether you're employed or you're simply employed by the universe to share love and joy, that is our job. And you do have a talent for sharing and making the planet a better place. We all had dreams when we were growing up. What did I want to be when I grow up? How many people are doing what you wanted to do when you were a kid and said, when I grow up, I'm going to do this? Put your hand up. Wow. A handful, maybe a fifth, if that. We end up doing what we do because we were taught we should do that and not that. You should be responsible and do that. You should take that job because it pays. You should take that because you'll get insurance. What are you going to do if you don't? You should shut up and keep working because retirement's only 10 years away, then do what you want to do after that. I should keep my dreams bottled up because they won't be a trouble to anybody. What we should do is quit shooting on ourselves. We keep doing that. Oh, you should, you ought to do that, you should do. Don't do that to yourself anymore. You should do what you want to do. That is why you're here. What would give you joy? What would make you jump out of bed in the morning and do that? Life is not meant to be drudgery. Again, it's a divine party we've all been invited to. If we're not happy about where our lives is, we can make a change. It takes divine courage to do that. You have to move beyond the error of thinking of this is the way it has to be into divine thinking of this is the way it's going to be. Because I'm a child of God and I get to call my life exactly as I want it. We have the power within us to change whatever we don't like. When we call forth the divine ideas of success and abundant good, we can and we will find the right career, the right mate, the right healing modality, the right home, the right whatever it is that we're looking for. I am in my right place at the moment because that's where I am. And I'm going to my true place, my divine place, because I am open and aware that God has something really wonderful waiting. Co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, in his book Prosperity, says, "The time is coming when we shall not have to work for things, for our physical needs in the way of food and clothing, because they will come through the accumulation of the right ideas of our minds. We will begin to understand that clothing represents one idea of substance, food another, and that every manifest thing is a representation of an idea. Everything you see on the planet, everything you're wearing, everything in your home was a divine idea in God's mind before it came out. So everything you see here is a divine idea, made manifest through us. So if we believe in lack, that idea will be warped. The idea of abundance will be warped into lack, and then you'll have that much abundance. Because we're calling that forth. Lack is created by my thoughts, my words, the feelings that I have, and the actions I take all day long. It's created because I believe in lack as my reality. If I believe the career that I would love to have is impossible because of A, B, C, D, E, and so on and so forth, then it will be impossible for me to have it because I've already told the universe this is the way it has to be. The book of Job says, you will declare a thing and it will be established for you, period. There's no footnotes. It just says you will say it, you will affirm it, and it will be so. So if we look at our lives and things aren't working, somewhere along the line, we took that as our belief system and we're holding on to that as our truth. So the first step in making what we're looking for to come forth, allowing it to come forth rather than making it come forth, is to simply get clear about what it is that I want. What is it in my life that I would love to see? We have to know that that is a reality given to us as a picture by Spirit within. And number two is gratitude. Feeling grateful that I can't see it yet, but I know it's on its way. I'm in my right place going to my true place because that is God's journey for me. Our co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore, had tuberculosis, and it was a full 2 years before she was completely healed. But every step of the way, she found strength and realization of Spirit at work. She found that she could stand up for longer periods of time, that she could breathe easier. She gave thanks for every little bit of improvement and every great improvement. And within 2 years, she was completely healed. We have to be grateful that every desired good that you're holding in your heart Spirit knows how to do it. I don't know how at the moment, but it will be revealed when I need to know it. Gratitude is actually a technique of allowing the subconscious mind to know the good is already here. When we feel grateful, we feel excited about it. When the subconscious feels the excitement, they go, oh, it actually already happened. And then our subconscious begins to treat the planet and everything around us as if this thing has already happened. So we're tricking ourselves into knowing the truth that will unfold. It's a wonderful game, the game of life and how to play it. We'll be talking about that on Wednesdays, of how to open ourselves up and get deep into the consciousness and allow Spirit free reign of our mind, our bodies, and our souls. So give thanks for that book that you wrote years ago that it is being published. How? You don't know. You've gotten all the rejection letters, fine. Maybe Spirit has another way for you. My job is to be grateful. I don't know how yet, but it is unfolding. Another way that we keep our good from us is by putting so much hatred into what we currently do. I hate this job. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. What are we telling the universe? We're telling the universe, I really feel passionate about this, so let me keep it. I hate this boyfriend. Can't get rid of him. I hate this house. Let me sign for another year. The thing that we hate, we're tying ourselves to us because we're so passionate about it. The law says that which we put our focus on with a lot of energy, a lot of emotion, stays in our lives whether we like it or not. So our prayer, I hate this job, really is a prayer. I hate this. I'll never get out of here. And the universe hears what we're saying and says, okay, got a really great career for you over here, but since I feel so passionate about it, we'll keep you here. I'll never get out of here. And God essentially says, no problem, whatever you want. Declare it, and it's yours. We called it. I called it. Nobody else is calling this for me. But I've been misusing the divine power I have within me to tie myself to the thing that I don't want. We say, God, thy will be done. And what the universe is saying back to us is, well, the truth is your will be done. Because as you say it, you're putting God's energy to work positively or negatively. God, this job really stinks. And God says, thy will be done. Yuck. During the last restaurant job I had, I knew that I did not want to work in restaurants anymore. I did not want to wait tables. I didn't want to bartend. I just wanted to go and eat. Pay the bill and leave. It was fine. It was okay. I had been in Unity for a while. I said, I know that I have to bless something. I need to love something or somewhere before I can let it go. We know that's the truth, right? If you want to let go of something, love it, and then it will be set free. So I knew this, and I began to bless everything and everybody at this restaurant. I blessed the owner. It would have been easier to walk on water. But I did it anyway. I blessed the cooks, the bartender, the busboys, the customers. That was another hard one. Bless your heart. I will get it right away. So I began to really feel love for all these people and everything that I was doing there. It really began to shift. I kept affirming, I am in my right place, going to my true place. And within a month, I was doing the work that I really was there to do, that I really loved to do. I had moved on from a job that I thought I had to do to one that I loved to do. The most important aspect to fully realizing a job, a person, a healing challenge, to releasing all this, is to practice divine detachment, to take a step back and say, what do I got here? Divine detachment looks at things and says, this is a spiritual lesson. This is not what it seems to be. What it is a lesson. It's a teacher. What do I need to learn from it so I can let it go for good? So when I was doing the restaurant work, I was blessing everybody, and one of the waitresses came up to me one night as I was doing this, and she said, I got to talk to you about something. Picture Joan Blondell in a pair of jeans. Look, I got to talk to you about something. I said, yes. She said, when you come to work, everything is peaceful. What's happening? And I knew I couldn't tell her I was praying for her and everybody else, so I just made a joke about the Valium finally kicking in. And she said, I knew it was something powerful. She was right. Divine love is powerful. And I blessed her and kept praying for everybody there and allowing the love to flow. And when you let the love flow, what happens is you rise up and then you move forward to where you need to be. If you are working with a coworker who is impossible, see them as a child of God. Love them. Keep shooting love arrows. Love darts. Light, 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 light. What's going to happen is one of two things. They'll either be promoted and get out of your way, or they'll find another job somewhere else, or you will. They will not be in your life anymore because love will heal whatever's going on there. There's a Chinese philosophy, proverb that says, if you want to be happy for an hour, make love to the person you most desire. If you want to be happy for a few hours, eat a meal of all the foods you love. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, love your work. We must love where we are and who we are, right where we are at that moment. Another interview that Mr. Turkle did was with a waitress named Dolores. Dolores was great. She said, I have to be a waitress. How else can I learn about people? How else does the world come to me? I can't go to everybody, so they have to come to me. Everyone has to eat, right? If they have a bad day, I nurse them, I cajole them. Maybe with coffee, I give them a little philosophy. If they have cocktails, I give them political science. People imagine a waitress couldn't possibly think or have any kind of aspirations other than to serve food. When somebody says to me, Dolores, you're great, how come you're just a waitress? I say to them, just a waitress. Do you hear what you're saying? Just a waitress. Why? Don't you think you deserve to be waited on by me? It's implying that he's not worthy, not I'm not worthy. I don't feel lowly at all. And then she goes on and she talks about how it is when she's serving a really large area and everybody's crowded in. She said, I do a ballet. I take the place and I work between the tables. They don't realize I'm dancing, but I am. They don't know I'm giving a performance, that I'm creating a wonderful experience, but I am. And people loved her, and they came to her all the time because they felt something about her. It was all about attitude. All about attitude. She had a difficult job, but she loved what she did. Don't you think you deserve to be served by me? That's an amazingly divine attitude. Again, the most important aspect in whatever we're doing, whether we are working or whether we're retired or whatever, it's about love. Do you love where you are at this very moment? Jesus said, seek the kingdom, seek the realm of God within you, and everything else will be taken care of. So again, it helps to be clear about what it is that I'm looking for. If I'm not doing what my joy is, I have to allow Spirit to reveal what that is. What do I like to do? What am I good at? What gives me pleasure? How do I want to celebrate the next part of my life that I'm here to do? My dad was a welder for years at the GE. And when he retired, he thought, well, I'm not going to just sit around the house watching TV. What do I want to do? What do I enjoy doing? He thought about it, and he got a job with AAA as a dispatcher and a tour guide. He was happier doing that than I had ever seen him in his life. He was finally doing what he loved to do. He was traveling, he was talking on the phone for hours, and he was telling other people what to do. There was never a more perfect job for my dad than this work. He's 90 now, and he'll be here next month. He and my stepmom will be coming out to visit us. And he looks like he's 67. He's just bopping around, 91 years old. He'll be 91 in November. He loves his life. He loves traveling. He loves what he's doing. He doesn't work at the AAA anymore, and now he just sits and enjoys his life. But are you enjoying your life? Are you doing what is yours to do? One night a number of years ago, I was in a restaurant, and I realized sitting next to me was the legendary Broadway director, George Abbott. Now, George Abbott was talking to some backers about the show. I almost fell over trying to listen to what he was saying. They were getting ready, the Broadway revival of Damn Yankees. And the astonishing thing about that was, at the time, George Abbott, Broadway director, getting ready to direct another Broadway show, was 105 years old. 105! And still bopping along, creating. He said the secret to his longevity was that he was passionate and loved what he was doing, and he was going to do it till he dropped, and he did. He said, okay, I'm ready to go, and he went and directed somewhere else in the universe. Are you doing what you love to do? That's the secret of having a joyful life. It's imperative we keep that level of enthusiasm and passion in our lives going, to put energy into doing what gives us complete and total joy. Our lives, our marriages, our careers, our health, whatever it might be, are not going to be what they can unless I get excited about it. Think about your mate. Are you excited? Do you realize the person that you're with is God? It's God expressing. I know it's hard to see in the morning. Where's God? Right there within. Where's God and me? They can say the same thing, but we forget this astonishing being that we're with. You should celebrate your anniversary. That's God. I know, Jeff, you don't look like God right now, but you are God. He said, think about it. We have to celebrate that every single day. Look at the person you're with and say, thank you, God. And they'll say, you're welcome. We're here to celebrate that. Your body is a holy temple. Are we celebrating what works? Maybe some things are a little rusty. We become like a 54 Chevy after a while. That's fine. Sometimes the bumper gets a little bumped. Sometimes our knees aren't working the way that we want them to. Sometimes the hearing goes a little bit, but you're here. Celebrate what you do have. Celebrate what does work. Love yourself where you are into your right and true place. Judy shared with us a little while ago, John 5, where Jesus walked up to the man who was lying by the pool for almost 40 years, waiting for the water to bubble up so he could go in and get healed. Jesus said, why don't you go in? He said, well, every time it bubbles up, somebody goes in before me. For 40 years? For 40 years, you can find one time where it bubbled up and you could go in there. And Jesus looked at him and said, do you want to be healed? Got to ask you the question. 40 years later, the water bubbles up all the time and you don't go in. Do you want to be healed? And you have to think about it for a moment. If I get healed, I have to get up, take my bed up, my pallet, and go home, and my wife will say, it's about time, here's a hammer, go fix the roof. Do I really want to do that? If I get up, I have to go back to work. Do I want to be healed? Do I want to prosper? Do I want a maid? If I have a maid, I have to share the remote. I'll have to go to bed at a certain time, maybe. I'll have to answer to somebody else. Do I really want it? Now, if the answer is no, then so be it. Call your life the way you want it, but if you want it differently, then say yes. So the guy saw him, I really do want to be healed. He got up, he took the bed, and he walked off. What do you want to do in your life? Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Whatever the limitations you think you have, they're not limitations in God's mind. 40 years it took him to wake up. We don't have to wait that long. So I invite you to close your eyes, take a breath. Let go. Your life is wonderful. Your life is waiting for you to say yes to it. We didn't come here to not create. Whatever we're here to do, we do it perfectly in our own unique, wonderful, different way. Believe it, give thanks for it, and move forward knowing that God's got this. It's not for me to know how it's going to happen. It's not for me to say thank you. I can't wait to see how it happens. Breathe in. Let go. Our elder brother always said, rejoice and be glad, for great is the reward. Great is the good you've got right now. But we have to know we have it inside right now. We keep running here and there trying to find it. It isn't out there, it's in here, right now. Will I say yes to it right now? Yes. Today is the day of yes. Yes, I am healthy and whole. Yes, I am prosperous. Yes, I am creative, whether I get paid for it or not. Yes, I have a wonderful home that nurtures me. Yes, I am free from any addiction. Yes, God is here, God is at work, and I am open and receptive as to how God will work and is working in my own unique and wonderful way. Give up being the general manager of the universe. It doesn't work. Breathe in. If you're having a health challenge today, let it go. Quit trying to figure out how you're going to do it. Quit reading the magazine. Quit going online. Quit talking to other people. Go within and talk to God. And the only thing we have to know is joyfully and passionately and gratefully, I am healed now. Breathe that into your heart. I am healed now. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is God's work. I am healed now. Breathe into that wonderful truth. Breathe into your body, temple, that truth. No matter how long you've been going through this, no matter how old or young you are, it doesn't matter. I am healed now. If you're going through a lack experience, a limitation experience, let it go. God's got this. If you've been out of work for a while, God is your abundant good. God is your source, not your work. The work is but one way that God has of bringing it. God has unlimited channels of your good. Give thanks for it. Let it happen. I am prosperous already. No matter the picture, no matter how it looks, God is at work. I am prosperous now. Breathe that in. With the tools of God at work, I create my perfect life. I know what to do and how to do it when it is revealed, to do it and how. I know what to say and how to say it. I know when to remain quiet. I know when to remain still and listen to direction. My life is a wonderful celebration. In the quiet of our being, all it takes is a moment. Know that God is revealing the truth. God is at work. God is in charge. God's got this. I let go and I listen to my heart. I am in my right place, going to my true place. God is at work in the quiet and the silence of our being. We know that we know. I am in my right place, going to my true place.